Good morning. I believe the country watched the president last night stand strong for this country and the freedoms that every American believes in. You look at the current poll, it says more than 76% approved of the speech. I hope those in the chamber listened. The president talked about not resist, but finding common ground. The president talked about, really, the greatness of America. He talked about the exceptionalism of this country. He just didn't say it, he showed it. When you sat there and he introduced Herman, Irving, and Joseph, the World War II vets, on the introduction, when you watched them stand, the excitement, their hands pumping. They may be long in age, but they still wanted to stand for the country. The president also showed when about criminal justice reform, that we can find common ground together. And what are the results of that? The introduction of the two individuals. That yes, we're changing lives of this country. The exceptionalism of what we've been able to do in the past, but let's apply it to a changing future. That's why he laid out a case for legal immigration, making it even stronger and securing the border. We just have 2 weeks to go. A lot of that work needs to be done this week. I hope the same feeling that Americans had, that chamber has, that they will rise to the occasion, that we can find the common ground and solve this problem. I know for one, the president wants to make it happen. Speaking to him today, he wants to continue the speech last night and the feeling and the atmosphere of what was inside that chamber. I applaud the president, applauding the Democrats for their win. And for the president going forward, I think one thing we have to realize. One of the strongest statements he made is, for those World War II vets who fought, they fought for the freedoms, that we will not have socialism in America, that he will stand up against it. He also stood up for those who could not speak for themselves, the same that Ann Wagner is doing with her bill. This doesn't have to be partisan, and it shouldn't be. I applaud our whip for bringing out a discharge petition, but we shouldn't have to get to a discharge petition. That is why today I'll ask for unanimous consent for the House to consider Ann Wagner's Born Alive Protection Act. And you know what? If the Democrats object, we'll ask again and again and again. Because it is just right. It's not a partisan issue. It's an issue of saving a life that is already born. I think everyone can agree with that. It shouldn't take time. We should actually solve this problem this week. Questions, comments? Yes, sir.
Thank you, Leader McCarthy. If the conference committee cannot come up with an agreement that conforms with the guidelines the White House has laid out, should the president just go ahead and declare a national emergency?
I think the president was very clear, even last night, that we are a legislative body. And we should use our power to solve this. He has a responsibility as well to protect this nation, but he's giving us the time to get the job done. Members have been meeting. The conference committee has been meeting. There was a bipartisan codel down to the border to get more information on the process. But I believe at the end of the day, we should get this done legislatively, and I'm looking forward to making that happen. Yes?
The president suggested last night that Congress should simply stop investigating his administration. Do you think it's appropriate for Congress to completely give up its oversight role?
Look, we will never give up our oversight rule, but this country is too great for a small vision of just an investigation. There are challenges out there that we have to get done. And to be fair, we have been investigating for the last 2 years. I think it should come to a close. I think the country wants to be able to solve the problems going forward. They want to see the challenges that we have, but actually rise to the occasion that the generations of Americans have done before us. Yes?
On the discharge petition, 2 questions. Number 1, have you talked to any Democrats who might be willing to sign on to this? Do you guys have like a target list of people who might be interested that you're planning on talking to?
I'll let Steve, because Steve's going to offer it.
Go ahead.
We know over the years there are a number of Democrats who have voted with us on pro-life legislation, and in fact, we brought a similar bill to the floor last Congress and passed it, and got 6 Democrats to vote with us. I hope that list grows. I think as people realize that this procedure is actually legal in a number of states, they're first shocked because they don't think it should be legal and they're surprised that it actually is. And then they wonder why anybody would oppose it. And so I think as we continue to promote this nationally, and that's where, Ann's leadership is going to be so important to spread that message around the country.
We'll start with the 6 Democrats that signed on to the legislation, and we'll grow. There's a whole new group of Democrat freshmen that I think will be anxious to be on this. It's been brought to the forefront. I think people are seeing the horrors of this. There are other states also, Colorado, Alaska, New Hampshire, and a handful of others that are also allowing late-term abortions. We do not want to see these states slip into what we're seeing in New York and Virginia. So we're going to take this opportunity that the legislation has been elevated, and we're going to sign up as many as we possibly
And
can.
second question, just a quick follow-up. Leader McCarthy, I remember last year you criticized Republicans for using the discharge petition to bring up immigration. Why the shift in attitude? Is this just reflection of this is one of the limited tools that you have in your toolbox in minorities?
You heard me say earlier that I'm going to ask for unanimous consent to bring the bill to the floor today, that we don't have to go to a discharge petition.
But you-
I would hate to have to use the discharge petition for this. We shouldn't have to. How many more lives will be saved by the number of days you have to wait for a discharge petition? So yes, I have the same position I had then. That's why we'll ask for unanimous consent today, and we'll ask for unanimous consent tomorrow, if they deny us today. Yes.
Last question.
How will House Republicans respond if and when the Ways and Means Committee seeks the president's tax returns? And do you think it's right for the administration to decline that request and make this into a legal fight as they've indicated?
Again, that just seems political to me. I think Ways and Means should focus their time making sure of how strong this economy is today, of how we can even make it stronger. I think that's the focus that the American people would like to see going forward, and that's the focus we'd have as well. Thank you.